Hello, everybody, and welcome to whatever episode of the Drinking on Mars podcast it is. Happy Drinking on Mars Day to you all, and we're here for, I think it's episode 7, possibly and probably the last episode of Series 1, and I'm happy to say that we're not doing it by Zoom this week, but it's live, and I have a special guest, my partner in crime in Cheese and Crackers, Andrew Woods. Andrew, how are you?
Very well. We're live from the internationally famous Bunker Studios where a lot of our work gets done, and it's a serious place, as you can
see. Indeed, it's where, the nerve centre of the Cheese and Crackers Music Fulfillment Centre, which is where this very video is coming to you from now. And Bunker Studios, as we call it, you can see at the back here that we like to have a working environment that resembles, your average nightclub in the 1970s or 80s or zeros, teens, or today. So let's move along. What the track this week from Drinking on Mars is Breezin by Cheese and Crackers. Now, to give a little bit of a preamble of how that came about, I just quit my job in Hong Kong and moved back to Australia and moved in with my mother in maybe 2018 and was like stunned for 2 months after, the whole experience of the last 10 years. And then after I came out of that stupor, I thought, well, I'm on holidays, I'm not working, I have no job. I get some music gear and I'm going to start writing some music and songs again. And Breezin was the first song that came out of that. And Andrew and I, we'd been playing for quite a few years. Do you want to tell a little bit about the back history of Cheese and Crackers?
Well, I'd known Patrick from his modernist days. I was a big fan of funk and soul, acid jazz, groove based. They were like a corduroy or something to me. They were just an awesome live band. So got to know the band when my mate became the percussionist in that very band that I'd seen years earlier. So I was pretty happy and never far away from the band after that. So when Modernists were all finished and Patrick's like, well, new project, what do you think? I was on the spot with my piano, ready to go back there, and joined up. And that's how we did it. We started with Breezin and...
Now I have to make a little anecdote here that you remember said, well, Pat, we jam and let's form a band. And I said, and I was pretty grumpy about music at the time. And I said, all right, well, we form a band, but we just have to play only cheesy music and we'll call it the Cheese Factory. And you said, no, let's call it Cheese and Crackers.
Yeah, and I was only joking. I didn't think we'd end up doing that. But when I said, look, it's great because we want to play cheesy music just because everyone likes cheesy covers and we're going to play at RSL clubs and just anywhere.
Yep.
And
we're a couple of crackers.
And crackers is a derogatory term in the US, or minor derogatory term for white people.
Or any unsophisticated person.
Yeah. So we've got cheesy music and we're a couple of crackers, I think was the joke.
Yeah. And none other than Christian McBride, the legendary bass player, he's all in with Cheese and Crackers. He'd buy anything.
We'll provide links to that somewhere.
Yeah, we will, down below. He'd buy anything we want. So our first track, our flagship song, you might say, is because Breezin that came out of all of those years of just jamming in Newtown in our lounge rooms, and then we, Andrew, you just moved down to the south coast, or you procured the Cheese and Crackers HQ here, and we recorded Breezin, and it sounded great. It's a really good pop song. I hope you all agree, or if you don't agree,
we know you agree.
We know you agree. So we'd recorded it and it'd come out pretty well, and we thought, well, why don't we make a video? How did we arrive at that position? Do you remember?
So we liked the song more and more, and it is a great freedom song, sunset kind of West Coast sound to me, like it's Fleetwood Mackie sort of America. Anyway, we thought this deserves a video, and hey, we've got enough friends with enough skills. Why don't we just go a bit deeper into the video and make a great memorable video and to go with the song, and that's exactly what we did.
And I think, and also just because you'd established CNC music fulfillment centre.
Yeah, down here on
the HQ.
Bomaderry on the south coast of New South Wales. We had a base where we could actually record and make anything, leave our gear set up. That was.
But the video, I mean, as we conceived it as kind of, because it's got that freedom, breeziness, escape
the city,
vibe.
coastal road, coastal vibe, sort of.
So it was a bit of an homage or a love letter to the beautiful south coast of New South Wales.
And the feeling you get when you're on the road leaving Sydney, heading to, just gets more and more natural and more wild as the further south you go, and it's does all that sort of stuff.
So it's a bit of a car ad, basically.
Yeah, it's a car song for the car fans.
Song. But as inspiration, when we're communicating to our director and our director of photography, we actually had those people. They didn't quite understand what we were trying to go for until we showed them the video for "Everybody Wants to Rule the World" by Tears for Fears, and then they kind of got it, and that's kind of the
kind of like a Route 66 sort of feel as well, right?
Yeah,
way, all parts of it.
Yeah. So nothing,
a bit more coastal.
nothing radical or too off the wall.
The derelict gas station was pretty.
Yeah,
pretty out there.
The graffiti gas stop anyway.
Yeah, the fishing fleet.
The douche's journey, or the hero's journey usually, but our character is colloquially nicknamed the douche until it becomes totally funky and like a funky Michael Hutchins.
He saw the light in the end, and he's not such a douche.
Yeah. Once he went out into that water and
washed,
baptized, he douched the douche.
Yeah, douche.
Yeah. Anyway, so we hope, and I guess one thing, perhaps that final scene of Breezin, where we must thank all of our friends who came down to be part of that forest party scene.
Yeah, I want to thank
frolicking
everyone who turned up and who committed and became part of the video. They're going down in cheese and cracker folklore now, and I want to thank Vera especially for pulling it all together, and then our main actors and everyone else that made the video as great as it is.
Yes, yeah. Anyway, moving on.
You know who you are.
Moving on. Channeling John Oliver here. Moving on. So after we did, so I guess as part of the moving on segue, as I'd say, unlike in Drinking on Mars, the best of Patrick Flynn, this opus, all of the music and bands that you've seen before are all historical, and or waiting for revivals. Whereas Cheese and Crackers is live and ongoing, so it's a real thing. So hence, after we did Breezin, we created a track and released a track, which we'll play after this, called Yaphet Kotto. What would you like to say about Yaphet Kotto, man?
Oh, it's one of the great tribute songs to an actor that you'll get out there. And for those who don't know the great man Yaphet Kotto, just watch our video and you'll know everything you need to know about him. He's a dude you don't even know. That's Yaphet Kotto.
Yeah. And he sadly passed away about one week
after our launch. He was waiting for it.
Yes.
And he knew his work was done, and he checked out, and may he rest in peace.
Yeah. So sadly, very, very sad, but at least he's got one of the great, tribute songs to remember him by.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's just have a listen to Yaphet Kotto right now.
Yeah.
Here he comes, ladies, get ready. Yaphet Kotto, he'll take you there. Bring along with him cheese and crackers. What a delightful swing to that. Yaphet Kotto.
There's a man on the screen and he's always kinda mean. He's the dude you don't even know. That's Yaphet Kotto. Yeah, Yaphet Kotto. He's always always kinda mean when you see him on the screen. He's the dude you don't even know. That's Yaphet Kotto. Yeah, Yaphet Kotto.
Is he human? Is he human? Or is he alien? Or is he alien? Or is he alien? Whatever he is, he's got the style. He's got the charisma. Can you feel the breeze when he walks by? Yeah. Yaphet Kotto.
He's always kinda mean when you see him on the screen. He's that dude you don't even know. That's Yaphet Kotto. He's Yaphet Kotto. I like to see him mean when I see him on the screen. He's a dude you don't even know. That's Yaphet Kotto. Don't take my photo. Yo.
Heel to the man that makes magic everywhere he goes. Yaphet Kotto. Right by his side, cheese and crackers. They're with him. Stand up, y'all. Oh,
There's a
wow.
man on the screen and he's always gonna mean. He's the dude you don't even know. That's Yaphet Kotto. Yeah, Yaphet Kotto. I like to see him mean when I see him on the screen. He's the dude you don't even know. That's Yaphet Kotto. He's Yaphet Kotto.
Alongside two of his youngest entertainment buddies, he will bring with him cheese and crackers.
That man on the screen, and he's always kinda mean. He's Yaphet Kotto. Yeah, Yaphet Kotto. He's the man on the scene,
Put some respect on his
and it makes you feel keen. That Yaphet Kotto. Yeah, Yaphet Kotto.
Yaphet Kotto.
Ooh, he's a man. Ooh, doing what he can. But there ain't nothing like a woman in this world. Yeah.
You know who I am. We're breezing right about now. Watch the altitude. He's in the building. Wait a minute. He's gone. Yaphet Kotto.
Wow, that was fantastic.
Didn't we tell you? You already knew it, but it was...
Yes. Now, I bet you're wondering, all of you people out there in Drinking on Mars, in the Drinking on Mars universe.
Martians.
I mean, you Martians, yes, that's right. Who the hell was that amazing female... well, who are those amazing vocalists, I should say? There were two really amazing ones and one relatively unamazing one. The relatively unamazing one was me doing the lead vocals. But Andrew, can you tell us who the first one was?
DJ R&B, all the way from Louisiana, who I know from Sydney, was good enough to come down and lend his vocals to our track.
And he now lives in the Dirty South.
He lives in Wollongong, so he's halfway here. And DJ R&B, also sometimes known as Wendell, really honoured us by what he put to that track. We thought it was going to be pretty good. It ended up being fantastic, as you just heard. Couldn't have done it better. It was done in one take in this very room. He walked in, we pressed play, he put down the vocals, and it was just perfect in one take. And there's something about that needs to be known. And
absolutely. And I mean, keen-eyed viewers of the Cheese and Crackers Music Fulfillment Centre will have seen I think one of our videos, which is Best Thing in Bomaderry, where Wendell, the Big Cheese, did his DJ set live to streaming live out on Facebook and out there into the universe of the Drinking on Mars and parallel universes, where Cheese and Crackers were accompanying him on his jazzy DJ set. So just kind of jamming along. You definitely see more of Wendell on the Cheese and Crackers Music Fulfillment Centre, and as part of the the Cheese and Crackers universe, there'll be a crossover episode coming very soon after Drinking on Mars finishes. Now the other amazing vocalist that we just heard on Yaphet Kotto is a collaborator of ours called Montreea. Now we're gonna go to how can I say we're going to go? Well, we're going to go to the final track, the capstone track for now, from Drinking on Mars, the best of Patrick Flynn, and it's going to be the demo version of a song called Old School. Now, Andrew, how long have we actually been jamming Old School?
I'll get this wrong, but I'm thinking probably 3 years.
3 years?
I don't know.
Come on, it's even longer than that.
I thought I'd get it wrong, but
in my Redfern apartment, I remember jamming on it, and then in your place in Newtown, we've been playing it for quite a while. So,
time flies.
So 3 years since we've been down here and been recording it,
right,
and refining it, and arranging it and putting it together, and it's still a demo version, but we've got this amazing vocalist Montreea who first sang on Yaphet Kotto, and now she's kind of gone to town on Old School. So it's still a demo version, but it's the best demo I have personally, as Patrick Flynn, producing Cheese and Crackers songs, best thing I've ever produced. So even though it's a demo version, we had to put it out. Now Montreea is a gospel soul singer from Atlanta that we've worked with, so she's the real deal, and I think you'll like it.
She over-delivered. We hoped it would be good. We knew it was a great track in the making, but when we got the demo back, I was pretty gobsmacked and floored. Just what? I had to play it again and again, and I'll play it any time, because as you'll see, it's a keeper. It's a beautiful track. Yeah,
beautiful track, but it's got legs. This is only the demo version, and it's got some way to go, that song. So stay tuned, and you will be fulfilled from the Cheese and Crackers Music Fulfillment Centre. Now, I think this is going to be short and sharp, but I think rounding it out, Andrew, what have we got coming up in the future for Cheese and Crackers after I've finished with Drinking on Mars, and now we're in the Cheese and Crackers era. We can get back to actually making some new music or putting more music out from Cheese and Crackers.
As it turned out, we've ended up with quite an amazing pipeline of work, of tracks that I lose count and I get them a bit confused, but there'd be 6 to 8 tracks in the works, from chillwave things to deep kind of, the other Wendell track. It's a dripping, soulful,
it's
love
beautiful,
song,
soulful ballad. Yeah.
To all sorts of intricate things. Transit Venus,
80s funk pop,
philosophical lyrics, great, playing, great piano playing especially, and it's going to be good production. It's a very fat pipeline of work. You can expect good things from the Cheese and Crackers Fulfillment Centre.
Yes, and we're going to speed up delivery as well. Now that after putting out a track a week, I think we might be able to do a track a month. Perhaps we'll make that commitment, but we may not stick to it. But we hope you'll keep watching.
And we're doing it all for you, by the way.
As long as you keep watching and keep listening, or not, we don't care. We're still going to do it. So on that note, I think we'll sign out here from Bunker Studios, here at the Cheese and Crackers Music Fulfillment Centre in the dirty South, Bomaderry, centre of the universe.
Good things coming from here. Keep it burning.